What if what we're seeing right now isn't a comet at all, an object flying through the galaxy, too fast, too large, and too strange to be a random traveler? Scientists named it 3I Atlas, the third interstellar visitor ever detected by humanity. But from the moment it was spotted, questions began to rise. Why does its path look like it's being controlled? Why did its color suddenly shift from deep red to glowing green without any clear reason? Why does it shine even when there's no source of light or heat nearby? And perhaps the most unsettling question of all, why are some astrophysicists, including a Harvard professor, suggesting it might be an alien probe? Today, we'll dive into the mystery. This is the story of the comet that defied science, and maybe, just maybe, rewrote our place in the universe. When 3I Atlas was first detected, astronomers thought it was just another icy wanderer, a comet from a distant star system passing through our solar neighborhood. But almost immediately, things didn't add up. Its brightness was off the charts, far greater than any typical comet of its estimated size. Then came the calculations. Its core wasn't small like most comets. It could be up to 20 kilometers wide, a cosmic giant. The odds of an interstellar object that massive appearing by chance almost zero. Next came the trajectory problem. 3I Atlas was moving in a nearly perfect line along the plane of our solar system, as if it had chosen the most efficient route to pass through it. To make it even stranger, it was moving against the rotation of the planets, on a retrograde orbit, a direction that almost no natural object follows. And then the light changed. Within weeks, astronomers noticed the object shifting from a dim red glow to a vivid emerald green, even though the spectrum didn't match any known chemical reaction. It was emitting light from compounds that shouldn't even be there. Nickel without iron, carbon dioxide without water ice. Combinations that don't exist in nature. By now, scientists were divided. Was it just an incredibly rare cosmic coincidence? Or was 3I Atlas something designed? Because if this wasn't a comet, then someone or something sent it here. When Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb entered the conversation, everything changed. He was the same scientist who once suggested that another interstellar visitor, Oumuamua, could be an alien probe. Now, looking at the bizarre behavior of 3I Atlas, Loeb said the quiet part out loud again. Maybe it's not a rock at all. Maybe it's technology. He wasn't alone. Several researchers noticed that despite its comet-like appearance, 3I Atlas didn't behave like one. Its jets of gas, which should have pushed it off course, didn't change its trajectory. It stayed perfectly steady, as if its movement was being controlled. Others pointed out that the surface reflections didn't look like ice or dust. The light was polarized, the kind of reflection you get from metal, not frozen gas. Then came the strangest detail. 3I Atlas was traveling almost exactly from the direction of the famous WOW signal, the mysterious radio burst detected in 1977, which many still believe was of extraterrestrial origin. The odds of that being coincidence? Around 1 in 100. So the question became unavoidable. Was this object a probe sent from the same civilization that once reached out to us across the stars? And if so, were they observing us again? Then the theories took a darker turn. In July 2025, a new paper appeared online, written by 3 astrophysicists, including Avi Loeb. It didn't just suggest 3I Atlas was an alien probe. It proposed something far more dramatic. What if 3I Atlas was a mothership, a massive interstellar carrier ship, traveling through our solar system, sending out smaller reconnaissance probes? The paper pointed out several eerie coincidences. Its orbit was perfectly aligned with the plane of the solar system, almost as if it had chosen the most strategic path. It was moving retrograde, opposite the direction of the planets, making interception nearly impossible. And its flight plan would take it past 3 planets, Venus, Mars, and Jupiter, in a pattern that looked more like a survey mission than a random flyby. And then came the date everyone fixated on, October 29th, 2025. That's when 3I Atlas would pass behind the sun, completely hidden from Earth's telescopes for several weeks. The paper speculated that this could be the moment when the object changes course, unseen, or releases something new. By November, it would reappear, and some headlines warned that it might not come back alone. Alien invasion predicted by Harvard scientists, screamed one article. Of course, the scientists never said invasion, but the timing, the trajectory, the secrecy, it all. As 3I Atlas approached its closest point to the sun, astronomers prepared for the most critical moment, the solar passage. But then, something happened that no one expected. When the comet entered the sun's glare, it didn't behave the way comets usually do. Most comets brighten intensely before fading. 3I Atlas, however, stayed unnaturally steady. No sudden flare, no fragmentation, no loss of brightness. It simply vanished from our instruments, like a signal cut off mid-transmission. For weeks, the object couldn't be observed. No telescope on Earth, no probe, no satellite. Nothing could track it, and that silence only fueled the theories. Some said it had disintegrated, burned away in the solar heat. Others believed it had performed a course correction behind the sun, using it as a shield. On conspiracy forums, a different idea spread, that 3I Atlas was never lost. It simply turned off its reflective surface, going dark intentionally. When it finally reappeared, the data didn't match predictions. Its brightness, its position, both were slightly off. Not enough to alarm NASA publicly, but enough for researchers to whisper that something had changed. And one haunting question remained. If it really did maneuver behind the sun, then where is it headed now? Not long after 3I Atlas re-emerged from behind the sun, a new claim surfaced, one that made even scientists pause. A few amateur astronomers reported spotting a second object traveling slightly ahead of the comet. It was faint, almost invisible, and moved in perfect sync, like a shadow. The rumor spread fast. On Reddit and fringe astronomy blogs, people started calling it the Scout, a smaller probe, sent ahead by the mothership to scan the inner solar system. A viral headline read, "They sent a drone before they arrived." NASA dismissed the claim as a misreading of background stars, but the timing was odd. The shadow had been detected exactly when 3I Atlas passed near Mars, one of the 3 planets its path seemed to target. Theories exploded. Some believed the smaller object was a detached fragment. Others thought it was a controlled craft, one that deliberately separated to gather data. For days, telescopes tracked the strange pairing, until both signals blurred into the background noise of the cosmos. No one could confirm what it was, but for those watching closely, it felt like the comet was no longer alone. And if that's true, then 3I Atlas might not be just visiting our solar system. It might be studying it. Weeks passed and 3I Atlas began to fade from the night sky. No explosions, no dramatic endings, just a slow, steady dimming until even the largest telescopes could barely detect its glow. But the data it left behind didn't make sense. Its spectral readings shifted once more, traces of compounds that shouldn't exist in natural comets. Its path deviated ever so slightly, too precise to be random, yet too subtle to confirm as artificial. And then there was the most puzzling discovery of all. In the final recordings, radio observatories detected a narrowband signal, brief and structured, almost like a transmission. NASA called it interference. Others weren't so sure. A few scientists claimed the signal resembled a ping, a kind of handshake protocol used in satellite communication, as if, just before disappearing, something tried to make contact, and then silence. No more data, no more light, no more answers. All that remains now is the question, was 3I Atlas just a cosmic wanderer from another star, or the first visitor who came not to be discovered, but to observe? Months later, as 3I Atlas drifted back into the black, astronomers noticed something eerie. Its faint green light, once visible even through the solar glare, flickered one last time. Not randomly, not like debris tumbling in space, but in intervals. Some claimed it was a pattern, a sequence of pulses matching the binary code for 1977 The year of the wow signal. It could have been coincidence, or it could have been a message, one final signature from something that had been watching us all along. By now, the object was gone, beyond the reach of our strongest telescopes, beyond the line where sunlight fades into interstellar night. No tail, no debris, nothing left but questions. And yet, somewhere out there, drifting between the stars, a silent green traveler continues its journey, perhaps carrying data, perhaps memories of its time near Earth. If another civilization someday looks up and spots 3i Atlas gliding through their sky, they might ask the same thing we did. Where did you come from? And maybe it will be our turn to be the mystery in someone else's heavens. 3i Atlas is gone now, silent, invisible, and far beyond our reach. But what it left behind may be even more important than its passing, because every time an object like this enters our system, it forces us to look deeper, not into space, but into ourselves. Why are we so quick to search for intent in the unknown? Why do we need to believe that someone out there is watching? Maybe it's because deep down, we want to be seen. We want to believe that in this endless void, we're not just a random spark. We're part of something larger, something alive. Perhaps 3i Atlas wasn't a message from another world. Perhaps it was a mirror, a reminder that humanity itself is still searching for meaning in the dark. And until we find that answer, we'll keep watching the sky, waiting for the next traveler to whisper across the stars, "You are not alone." Maybe 3i Atlas was never meant to give us answers. Maybe its purpose was simply to pass through, to remind us that the universe is still full of mysteries we can't categorize or control. Every telescope that tracked it, every frame of data captured was like a heartbeat, proof that somewhere in the endless dark, something moves. And as it moved, we watched. But what if, in that same moment, it was watching too? Not with eyes, not with technology as we know it, but in the quiet, incomprehensible way the universe observes itself. Because maybe that's what this was all along. Not a ship, not a threat, not even a message, just a cosmic reflection, a fragment of something vast and ancient, reminding us that everything is connected, that even a piece of ice drifting through interstellar space can make billions of people look up and feel wonder again. And in that brief flicker of time, before it vanished beyond our reach, 3i Atlas became what all of us secretly hoped to be, a small light noticed among the infinite.